This was the very first Super Bowl that I ever cut. It was kind of one of those where on paper I was like, they're not gonna buy this. Like this is like kind of risky. I just thought, I don't know if a brand's gonna want to like have this sort of like drug dealer kind of, thing, but they went for it and, it turned out great. This was the very first Super Bowl that I ever cut. Super Bowl spot. And it was especially fun for me because I got brought in at the point at which the agency was trying to sell through the script to Weight Watchers, who was the client. And essentially what we're often asked to do is to like create a rip video, which is sort of a mood film for anybody who doesn't know. It's like a mood film to show a client how potentially like a script could work and what it could look like and sound like and feel like. And you use all existing footage to put it together, but it's essentially like here's the idea. And once they buy the script, then you go and you make it for real. So this particular instance was exciting because I was brought in at that rip stage where they hadn't sold the script yet, and so I was able to play a bigger part in the pre-production than I normally get to, in terms of putting together something that like this is how it could look and sound, and so that was really exciting for me. So let me play this down for you.
Hey, wanna get baked? Glazed, iced, fried. How much do you want? Just have a taste. Cooked it up special for you. And guess what? If you buy more, I'll cut you a deal. No one's telling you what to do. You're in control. You can stop whenever you want. Well, sorta. I mean, you gotta eat, right?
Was Jesse Pinkman part of this at the beginning?
Yeah,
because it seems such a great like how do you have this without that voice, right?
I know.
Or is that
Yeah.
is that a sound alike? That's him, right?
No, it's him. It is really him. And at the time I was so stoked about that because I was such a huge fan of the show. And so yeah, it was written with his voice being, sort of the dealer. But yeah, it was kind of one of those where on paper I was like, I even doubted. I was like, they're not gonna buy this. Like this is like kind of risky, this was a few years ago, and I just thought, I don't know if a brand's gonna want to like, have this sort of like drug dealer kind of, thing. But they went for it, and it turned out great. So it was a really fun one to work on.
So because you're talking about rip films, or what are we, rip-o-matics, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know the heck they're called, probably many things, but
Yeah.
this is all archival or found footage, right? You didn't shoot anything or did you shoot
No,
specifically, or did you shoot all of it?
Yeah, it's mostly shot. So when I put the rip together, I was using found footage, and it was like, I was looking at like old like Lurpak commercials with all this like amazing tabletop like close up, food photography, and just like clips I would pull off of like YouTube and whatever that had the, sort of illustrated the things in the script that we needed. And so that was, I think, largely used as sort of like a basis for like then what eventually got boarded and shot. But almost everything in that spot was shot, with the exception of there's a couple of stock clips towards the end. But yeah, it was all shot.
Did they recreate everything that you chose?
They did. Yeah, some of it. Yes, they did. They kind of ended up recreating some of it, but certainly, the agency and director had other ideas as well. So it was really interesting. And then I actually attended the shoot, and so it was kind of it was like a peek into the world of like food cinematography and like tabletop stuff and all the weird tricks of like, they've got to glue the slices of ham to each other so that they lay in a certain way, and all the kind of disgusting like food photography stuff that happens, which was kind of interesting to see.